Hi everyone, in this lecture we will talk about iterators. But before we actually talk about iterators, let me tell you that generally we don't use iterators in Python because they are already implemented in Python in the backend. But the reason why I am discussing iterator is that in the next lecture we will talk about generators, and it's very important for you to know iterators before generators. So, an iterator is simply an object that contains stream of countable data and returns one element at a time. Now let me tell you that list, tuple, etc. are all iterable objects, but they are not iterators. This means that by default they are not iterators, but because they are iterable objects, so you can convert them into iterators by passing them to iter function. Now here let me ask you a question, and that is how you can get data elements of a list one by one. And obviously the answer is with the help of for loop. And surprisingly, Python has elegantly implemented iterators within for loop, not only in for loop but also in dictionaries, generators, comprehension, etc. And that's the reason why I have told you in the beginning of this lecture that we generally don't use iterators because they are already implemented in Python. But for the sake of generators, let's understand them with the help of examples. So I have created a new Python file with the name iterator.py, and let's create here an iterable object. So iterable object can be a list, it can be a tuple, it can be a string, it can be a dictionary. So I'll stick with list for the sake of simplicity. So just write here a is equals to, and then 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and let's print the type of a. Obviously we will get list, so just run it, run Python file, and we got list. But currently here, as you can see, that it is a list, it's not an iterator. In order to convert this a to an iterator, we need to pass this list to iter function. So let's create here another variable, and I'll say a underscore iter, okay, is equals to, and then iter, and just write here a here, and just copy this print function, paste it right here, and instead of a just type here a underscore iter. Okay, and now let's observe the data type of this. Let's run it, and here we go. Now as you can see that the data type of this a underscore iter is list iterator. So we have successfully converted our list into an iterable list. And after converting a list into an iterable list, we can access each element of this list one by one with the help of next function. Yes, next is another function which is used along with this iterator function, because with the help of this function we can access the data element one by one. So for example, here if I say print next next, and then just pass your a dot underscore iter, copy it, paste it right here, let's save it, and let's run it. So what are you expecting? Will it print the whole list or will it only print this one? So let's run it and see the output, and yeah, we got one. And this next is a very magical function, and the reason why I'm calling it magical is that if I copy this line and if I paste it right here one more time, now this time it will print the second data element. So let's run it, and we got 1 first because of this next function, and we got 2 because of this next function. And let's copy both of them, copy it, paste it right here, and let's paste them one more time. Let's remove it. Okay, let's save it, and now if I run it, I'll get all the data objects. Here we go, we got 1 2 3 4 and 5, and these are all the elements of this list, but we are accessing them through this iterable list. What if I write here an other next underscore iter function? So just copy this print line, paste it right here. Let's run it. Let's save it. And here now, as you can see, we don't have any other data item in this list. So let's run it. And we got this stop iteration error because this iterable object now don't have any other data element. So this is how this iterator work. This iterator and then this next function is very elegantly implemented in for loop, and that's why it might be new to you. But now with the help of this iter function and with the help of this next function, you can print each and every element of list one by one, even with the help of while loop without using indexing. So let's do this process. Let me remove them, and let's write here a while loop, and here let's suppose just write here counter is equals to 0. Okay, so this will be our counter. And now if I'll say counter is less than length of this a, okay, and now this is the condition, and inside this I'll simply write next function, and I'll say next a underscore iter, and I'll save each element in this item variable, and I'll simply print this item variable. So just write here print, then item, let's save it, and let's run it. And here we go, we got 1 2 3 4 5, but we got this error as well. And the reason is that we actually need to increment this counter as well. So just write here counter counter plus equals 1. Let's save it, and now let's run it. And we got our elements from 1 to 5. And now in order to get a better understanding, let's debug it, debug Python file, and now just focus on the value of this item variable. So first of all, here as you can see in this variable section, we have a variable with the name a, and it contains our list. And then we have another variable with the name a underscore iter, which we have declared right here. And now this is an object, as you can see, list underscore iter object, and then we have a counter variable obviously. And let's click on next, and here we go. In the item variable we got 1 first, and then let's click on next, and now we got 2, and here it has printed 2. And in the item we got 3. So you have observed that next function is extracting data elements one by one from this iterable list. Let's click on this next again, and now we got 4 and then 5, and our program has ended. So I hope that you have understood this iterator, and in the next lecture we will talk about generators, and I'll see you there. Bye bye.